check audio and post us. All right, say something real quick.
Sup.
So I
Testing.
so I can make sure this is good.
Testing. Packed episode incoming. Testing.
All right, yeah, we're good.
All right.
Just that delay.
It's just a normal delay, right?
Yep.
Standard one. What is this? Don't tell me it's the fucking thing of string cheese.
Um,
Yeah, my one of my Febreze air fresheners sprayed like fire hose. All right, let me grab my water and then. God damn. Clearly, I need it. I'm gonna.
Good.
Yeah, I got cough drops, so I'm ready.
You're not feeling well.
Throat's been all fucked up.
Uh,
Fuck, sorry. All right. All right, ready? All right, wait. Let me get my Wise Pick spreadsheet out. I need to get that. All right. Get started in 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to the Wise Guys podcast. I am your host, Brady Fitzgerald, joined as always by my co-host, Chris Hagan.
how you guys doing?
Doing well, Chris. We had a pretty damn successful week on the Wise Picks. You have been 6-0 the past 2 weeks. I'm giving you a little
Reborn.
Yeah.
Like a phoenix.
Honestly.
The ashes of my 0-3 weeks.
The Falcons, like I can't believe I picked them, but whatever. Anyways, we got a lot to talk about. We're gonna get started with these Wise Picks. We have the trade deadline to discuss. We're gonna get to James Harden, but let's talk about the games themselves first. Let's start off with the Vikings. Almost tragic win. The Minnesota Vikings.
It was, yeah. It's like you won the game, but at what cost? Obviously, if you don't know what we're talking about, Kirk Cousins is toast with a torn ACL. I didn't see the play. Was it like, did it look bad, or I heard it was very similar to the Rodgers one?
Damn, I was gonna ask you the same thing because I did not see the play that he got hurt. Specifically, because this game was pretty much over. I mean, not pretty much over, but it wasn't close. Pretty much the whole time. The Packers like somewhat made it a game early in the third, but not really. And
Had a chance, like they drove down and had it inside. I don't know if it was in the red zone or inside the 10, but to make it a one-score game and turned it on downs. And like that was the only time where they had a little bit of life because Minnesota jumped out to a lead. It was a stinker.
the Packers are just I think every game that they're going to be in is a stinker. They're just not a fun team.
Yeah, that's true.
We can name 8 of these teams, bruh, that are just not fun to watch.
Well, at least at first they were like they were not fun to watch, but they were competitive and they might be frisky. Now they're not fun to watch and they suck. It's almost like Jordan Love gets worse every single week we watch him. Like this was at home against a divisional opponent and just an absolute dirty diaper to use your language.
Yeah, no, it's by far a dirty type. And what happened to the Jordan Love that threw 7 touchdowns and no interceptions the first 2 weeks or 3 weeks? Like he
I
is
don't get to play the Bears, I guess.
yeah. Yeah, I guess you don't get to play the Bears every week. I mean, man, him, Ritter, I mean, like they've had like these moments in the season where they're like, all right, maybe they are the starter, and then so many games, like out of the 8 weeks that we've been on, like probably 6 or 5 of these games, so many of these quarterbacks look so terrible. And now we get even more. So Jaron Hall comes into the game late in the game, immediately.
Where did he come from?
Fumbles it.
I never heard of him.
He's a rookie. Where did he go to college?
25
BYU.
years old. I went to BYU.
Yeah, I don't know where he came from. So, damn. Yeah, this guy stinks. They traded for Joshua Dobbs today at the deadline, the Minnesota Vikings. So they said that Jaron Hall is going to be the quarterback, even though they got Joshua Dobbs. So
I have a
weird.
hard time believing that.
That's why, like, I think it's
I guess like maybe he just needs a couple weeks.
To suck.
Get acclimated to the playbook and everything. That's the only possible explanation.
Oh, I thought you meant like a couple
right?
weeks.
Like you don't go out and
go ahead. Go ahead. You're talking about Jobs doesn't just go out and trade and then be able to run the system.
Right. Yeah.
I always thought you meant Hall needs a couple games just to confirm he sucks. I think that's what this move is. It's like, all right, Dobbs is like
just so nobody's calling for this guy to come back in, like they start Dobbs and
yeah, exactly.
People saying, "Oh, we never got a real look at Jaron Hall."
Exactly.
I can't get over the fact that he's 25. Why is he that old?
Yeah, the COVID year just literally made these guys. He's 6'2".
Yeah, that's true.
6 foot, not a quarterback length. He doesn't. The eye test doesn't do it for me. I don't think this guy's the real deal here.
No, I don't. The first picture of him, I think it's at the combine, like doing an interview.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
No, he just doesn't have the quarterback. He doesn't have the look, and he's the 6 foot scares me too. Now that I know he's 6 foot, like I'm real nervous now.
There's other pictures of him where he looks like he could be a dude. It's just that one where like his hair all floppy.
Yeah.
Like you can't win like that. It's literally just judging a book by its cover.
That's what we do.
Like what we did with Arthur Smith.
Yeah, and we were right. Arthur Smith, we said from day one he was a boob, and there he is.
He's such a boob. He's even more of a boob than we thought he was. That's the funny thing.
Yeah, he's
like we were early on that without knowing anything, and now everyone in the league thinks it.
Just judge a book by its cover. Sometimes it works. So, looking at the quarterback or the Vikings going forward, no Kirk Cousins, 4-4. It's so sad. They just restarted their season.
I know.
We talked about it all last week.
Well, and in my pig explanation was like, I'm finally starting. Like, I actually believe in Kirk.
I know, this was his year.
Gut feeling.
This was his year. Like everyone.
Honestly, I think it was his best year statistically so far. Like people were talking about him in the MVP conversation if they started winning games again. That's how good his numbers have been.
And he got all that love from the quarterback show. Like it was all Kirk Cousins, all lining up to be Kirk Cousins' year. Maybe he finally gets a playoff win.
It is tragic. That was the perfect word to describe it.
It is. And when it happened, I didn't think of it as tragic as I did like a couple minutes afterward. I was like, damn, Kirk Cousins is out. And then now like explaining it here, yeah, he was having a career year. at 35 years old. That's not easy to do, especially at the
Yeah,
quarterback.
not at all.
No, so
But yeah,
he,
I just saw it. I just saw it on the bottom line watching the Commanders game. It was like Kirk Cousins leaves the game in third. I was like, oh, like he's probably fine, just banged up a little bit. And then I saw non-contact injury. I was like, that can't be good. It's a contact injury, like I don't know, maybe broke a rib or something.
yeah, the non-contract ones
Yeah,
are always the worst
worst
ones.
case scenario. Yeah, especially at that age.
The Sorry, I just got completely distracted. This is because I was looking at Twitter to make sure, like I was like looking at like, but anyways, and I see this thing that says Joe Biden becomes more scared of AI after watching Mission Impossible 7. Just that I had to like take a break from. I know we were talking about Kirk Cousins. This is very tragic, but like
Wait, like the Tom Cruise Mission
no, yeah,
Impossible?
yeah. Because the new one's about like the main like villain is like they're trying to stop this AI, and it's like, but now Joe Biden's more scared. Whatever. We don't need to talk about this. We don't need to talk about our society. Our society's
That could be a whole
yeah,
other thing.
yeah. Our society's so screwed. But anyways, uh,
That's why we're talking about football.
yeah. Just makes more sense in our head, even when it doesn't. It makes more sense. They coming up on the Falcons next. This could be Jaron Hall versus Heineke.
It's gonna be probably, right?
I mean, unless they just want to stick with Ritter,
they're
even
not
though
gonna
they already
go.
benched him. Do they flip back to Ritter?
Oh, and do like the Fitzpatrick Jameis thing that Tampa did
Yeah,
that
like
one
the
year.
snip, snap, snip, snap.
It kind of worked. Like they didn't make the playoffs, but it kind of worked. 'Cause you would get like you would light a fire under them, I guess. But I don't think there's any fire to Ritter. I think he's just a bum.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. The fucking I can't. The Falcons are so trash. They're terrible. Now, like, let's just move on to that game. It's one of my wise picks. I can't believe they got dotted up by Will Levis after that. And I thought their defense was good. Like I thought their defense was.
I
Pretty
thought it was
solid.
like at least solid. But like this is what we said before the game is we hadn't seen Will Levis yet. Like
I
you
know.
don't know.
I know.
Like maybe he's him. Or maybe it's just the factor of they haven't seen him on tape yet. Didn't weren't able to
That's a
properly
good
game plan
point.
for him. I don't know.
Good point. So like now they're running this Heineke Ritter type deal. It's probably gonna be Heineke. Seems like he's the starter going forward.
It's gotta be.
Bijan's tummy
Like,
troubles are over.
So
That's a good sign.
I called this, remember? I didn't think that it would happen mid game though.
What
I thought that during the week they would say Heineke's our VR guy moving forward. Not expect this to go down. But I can't say I'm that surprised.
This guy Cardale Hodges is all of a sudden. I don't know who the heck this guy is, but he is just all over the place when it came last week. It seemed like that, and maybe it was because it was the only times I really saw them on Red Zone, where like there are 5 big plays and he had like 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So that might have been it. But yeah, just
probably.
not Kyle Pitts though, not Drake London. Bijan got a touchdown though. I hate this team so much. Falcons looked fantastic. Or not Falcons. Titans. Titans looked fantastic in those uniforms.
The Titans are kind of like in that Saints old boat where you just don't know what they're gonna look like. Like one week they could look like this, and they could look like they could beat anyone and make the playoffs. And then the very next week they could look like they've never
touched a football
before.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And I think the Thursday night game is the Titans.
Titans
Steelers.
Yeah, I meant more on their.
That's a stay away game.
Yeah, that's a nasty game. I meant more on their uniforms for looking as excellent as I've seen. Like as in like they actually physically looked awesome out there.
Yeah. But like we talked about this, right? In the offseason when we did our uniforms podcast, of course.
Of course.
And they don't really deserve to have these.
No, they don't.
It's the Houston uniform.
Yeah.
and they took the team, like you don't also get to take the uniform,
That's just how it works, though.
right?
No, I mean that's the
But it's
Carolina
not.
No, it is
No other
though.
does
Yeah, the
that.
Carolina Hurricanes wear the Whalers uniforms.
Right, but there's no team in Hartford.
That's true. That's fair.
That's a difference.
Yeah, that's a good point. There's no new like that. That'd be like if the Ravens were like, all right, we're gonna sort of roll out these Colts uniforms for our throwback to Indianapolis or whatever.
Yeah, or Browns.
Or yeah, I guess the other way around. It would be like
No, wait, the
yeah.
Colts would
Colts would be
wear
where Ravens.
Baltimore
uniforms.
Colts.
Yes. Yeah. Baltimore Colts uniforms.
Yeah. Well, that's tricky because none of them have changed names.
Yeah. It's the real issue is that they completely changed everything and then got a whole new team. It's kind of like, I guess it would be like if the Pelicans wore like Hornets uniforms, right?
No, because they were in the same. Wait, gosh.
Because it was all right.
There was a Charlotte Hornets that moved to New Orleans.
Yes. So it'd be like if the
Became the Hornets,
Pelicans
and then they
wore
became
Hornets
Pelicans.
uniforms.
But the Hornets are there now.
Yeah, I know.
Like the Houston team now is the Texans. They should get the Oilers uniform.
Yeah, I know what we're saying.
See what
we're
I mean?
saying yes, we're saying the same thing. We're just kind of like confusing each other.
I think it's the only situation in sports like this.
Yeah.
Might be another one, but not that I can think.
No, it'd be like, okay, this would be the new scenario. Let's go. So the Hornets change their name back to the Bobcats, and then the Pelicans wear Hornets uniforms. That would be the situation that we're in.
Right. Or I got another one. The Twins wear Washington Senators uniforms. The Nationals don't get them.
Yeah.
I think that's one.
It is weird, but they look good. That doesn't change the fact that they look really good. And I think we did the same thing. We like ranked. I know I ranked them lower due to the fact that they stole.
They got a penalty.
Yeah, and then afterwards we were like, well, they still look fantastic though.
Yeah, right. Of course. Yeah, they did. I think I penalized them pretty heavily for it.
Yeah, no, we had them both.
Yeah, they definitely
both drastically
great.
lower than we should have.
Good game for Will Levis to start into.
Yeah, I should have put that in because like he's not going to be good next week. Thursday, he's going to throw like 3 picks against the Steelers, and the Steelers are going to win by
unless he's the guy. Maybe he is.
17-16 Steelers. Lock it in.
Ugh.
Lock it in. All right. Next wise pick.
It's going to be a gross game.
Next wise pick. This one, it was your pick, and I nailed it so hard on the pod that like I feel like it's my pick now because I mapped this out perfectly. If you listen to Friday's pod, talk about the Cowboys -6 over the Rams, and I said this was the game that they needed an offensive performance by the Cowboys to show that they're real, to show that they're coming in to the Eagles game, getting Skip Bayless
against a somewhat competent defense. That was another part of it.
Yep.
It's not like the Bears.
Yeah. Or the Pats, where they just had like a bunch of defensive touchdowns, and this was a team that
like a semi-respectable team. That's probably not really all that respectable. We just don't know that yet. They're 3-5.
Yeah.
Eventually,
it's the uniforms too.
People are gonna know that the Rams are bad. Yeah, definitely
Rams. And it worked out perfectly. It was up early. You were worried about the backdoor cover. Then Stafford gets hurt, and
they just kept scoring.
Yeah, and Dak had his best game of the season so far. He looked really good. Yeah, because they're gearing up for the Eagles game. They're ready to disappoint on Sunday.
It was like a complete domination because they had turnovers. They blocked a punt, I think.
I said quote,
every time they got the ball, they scored a touchdown.
I said word for word. God, and I'm just boasting my bridges because I can't believe I nailed this so much. I said we haven't seen a CeeDee Lamb game all year yet.
Yeah.
And
I think he led the league.
12 for 158, 2 touchdowns. And it looked
maybe Hopkins did.
At the beginning of the game, it felt like him and Hopkins could both go for 8. They just kept throwing it to him over and
It
over.
was literally like every cutaway from the Commanders game was like, and back to Dallas, and there's CeeDee Lamb in the end zone.
Yep.
Every time.
So
I
honestly,
just kept seeing it, and I was like, man, I hate the Cowboys, but I know how this ends.
yeah, it ends with an Eagles victory next
This
week.
is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And a
The
second round playoff exit.
Stafford, another injured quarterback this week. He hit his hand, uncertain after he sprained his UCL in his thumb. They considered
Yeah, UCL
considered to be day to day.
is not great.
It said day to day.
Thumb is negative.
The
How
only,
is a UCL day to day?
the only thing I can think of is remember when on the it was the year that the Pats played the Eagles in the Super Bowl, and the Pats are about to play the Jacksonville Jaguars in the championship game, and
Mhm.
Tom Brady does this in practice with Rex Burkhead and cuts his finger. I don't think he sprained his UCL, but he cut his throwing thumb. I don't
Mhm.
know what the like. I'm sure a UCL is way more painful, but he played that
Well,
week.
UCL is a ligament.
Yeah,
Like that's like the pitchers for
yeah.
the elbow.
It's like
that
right here, right?
when you tear it, you mean no, your UCL is like in here.
How did he hurt his UCL hitting his? Nah, it says
I
sprained
don't.
UCL in
Well, that's
thumb.
that's what happened to
It's got to be in the thumb, right?
UCL's not in your thumb. Maybe Matthew Stafford.
Yeah,
sprains
it's right
UCL
here.
What?
Apparently, this is what it is.
There's 2 UCL.
Guess so.
That's not okay.
Well, we're not the medical guys, so let's just
We're
move
not
on.
the medical guy.
Let's just move on.
Anyway, because Purdy hurt his UCL, didn't he? In the NFC Championship, wasn't that what that injury was? Okay, there is a UCL in your thumb. How many freaking UCLs do you have? How many UCLs does Messi have?
Does he have more?
His acronym.
All right, yeah, he had his. All right, so he tore his UCL in his right elbow. I think there's just multiple UCLs.
There are other muscles like that?
I think I don't know. This is so this is so off subject, but who cares? I think so. I think anything that goes. It seems like anything that can like retract like this should be a UCL. Is there any in your knee?
A UCL? No, there's like a
Yeah, there's like the
there's
ACL and the
ACL,
MCL. Yeah, there's all those.
MCL, PCL.
All right. Seems like this is day to day though.
No, this is not. I feel like we're wasting time here. And the only like when I look up how many UCLs do people have, it's just giving me Champions League titles. I don't even know what the U is in that.
Oh, that's pretty funny. So Stafford leaves the game. After that, it's pretty much hopeless. they don't have anything from they had nothing this game, really. Cowboys just completely dominated. And it didn't help that Stafford got out.
Yeah.
But it seems like he should be back. Who are the Rams? Like there's Saints, the Rams, the Titans, the Steelers. I can't tell what I'm getting week to week from any of those teams.
Yeah.
And like
no.
In the worst way possible, because I can see the vision where they're really good, and I can see the vision where they're like more than likely I see the vision where they're trash. But they're just like scary teams where it's like, well, at any point, Alvin Kamara could get 5 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns a game. I don't know what to do with the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
But Derek Carr can't throw the ball down the field. So what am I supposed to do? I don't know. They played the Colts.
Saints are on my don't bet list, even if I have a hunch, because I don't know what they are.
Yeah, I don't get it either. This
the Rams might be in that territory too. Although I guess I just picked against them.
Has this been the weirdest year for the NFL since we've been doing the pod?
It might be. I mean, I'm 8-1 in the last 3 weeks. I feel like I'm getting my footing down. Maybe just from
No,
the
yeah, no,
overall,
I think we're figuring it
definitely
out.
like quarterbacking wise.
Yeah, quarterback. It's never been worse, quarterback wise. Like it's seriously never been this bad.
Like when you get it outside like the top 7,
Yeah,
you're
you know
like,
what?
ugh,
Like
I
Dak
don't
is
like these
like the
guys.
best mid-level quarterback by far.
Yeah, I mean Kirk was.
Mm-hmm. Now you can't even get him. Um,
It's
all
a
right,
shame.
it is a shame, but it's all right. So Cowboys -6, nailed it. Jags -2.5.
Shame.
This one, I was like, I was nervous going in. Gave our explanation why, um, and then I was kind of like, I don't know. I was nervous the whole game until Mitch Trubisky came in. Just because I knew the Steelers were just like gonna creep in, like they did. They were creeping around all game, and until Mitch came in and really sold the bag, uh, it was it was a close game. Their offense sucks so
Honestly, I forgot that Mitch is even like a person.
it it was good to
He
see
was
Mitch
I
back.
feel like he played such a large role in my life for a couple years there.
He was taken
I
from
hadn't
us.
spoken about him so long. He was
He
taken from.
he was taken from us way too soon, and now he's back. I don't know what's up with Kenny Pickett. Game time decision Thursday.
He got rocked.
Yeah, no, he did get
I
rocked.
saw the play, but I didn't hear like what the Kenny Pickett Steelers. He says he is for sure playing
Oh,
Thursday.
all right,
There you go. For sure.
for sure. The Jags offense is starting to like they still have some weird moments, but this ETN is really popping off.
He went out for a little bit too, which
Yes. Yeah,
is
that was
horrifying
yes, that was
because he's
horrifying.
on my fantasy team. Um, but yeah, he's become like the touchdown machine of the league.
Hmm.
Like he can't go a game without scoring a touchdown, and he's just as good as a receiver as he is as a back. Like he's what the weapon was supposed to be.
Yeah, this is why I remember when he got drafted, everyone was like, "Oh, James Connor's there." Like he just had an undrafted breakout year. Like, why spend a first round pick on him? And he already had that chemistry with Trevor Lawrence. They didn't get to play that first year together in the NFL, but played 2 or 3 in college. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why you get a guy like that. As you said,
Mm-hmm.
he could play receiver and running back, and they line him up as receiver to play receiver, and then also as running back. So he is so much fun to watch. Him and Ridley on the same team with Trevor Lawrence passing to him
Mm-hmm.
is a lot of fun to watch. It was a shame that this game was like rainy and shitty and just
So gross.
nasty, because each week, like it seems like these guys are just getting better and better with their chemistry, and like their Trevor Lawrence is just getting
Mm-hmm.
more and more uh, back to where we expected him to be.
Yeah, and you said it in the explanation, like that this was kind of like maybe not quite a statement game, but like a proof that we're well above this like mid-level team in the NFL. Like they're an actual contender, and beating a team like the Steelers, pretty. I mean, it wasn't a blowout, but like it never felt like they were gonna lose this game. Even though they only won by 10.
Yeah,
It just kind of it's like a boost for them to be like, all right, like we're not gonna fall into these traps.
that's really
Just
what
take
I
care
was
of
impressed.
business.
Yeah,
They got the 49ers next, so
they didn't fall into the traps. So the next 2 picks are 2 unders. The Giants Jets under does not
that
need to
was
be discussed.
my favorite game of the week.
This might
It
be
was
like the
so
worst
awesome.
NFL game of all time.
The Giants had like 7 passing yards
They ended the game
at
with
the end of
-9.
regulation.
-9 passing yards.
I think that accounts for punt or
Yeah,
for
it's sacks.
sacks.
Yeah, it accounts for
But without sacks, they literally had 7.
They did because
And
and
there
Tommy DeVito
were,
ended the game with -1 passing.
I think there were 24 total punts. I heard that on the broadcast, and I was like, that can't be a real stat. And I
24
looked it up,
total.
and I counted them.
Yep, 24
Counted them
total.
by hand. When it went to overtime, I can't believe the Jets were able to put together a drive to go tie that game. It's like the Zach Wilson move is play so poorly the whole game, and then you have a chance at the end to go tie it, and you actually do it. Like he
He's like
literally
the
did that against
opposite.
the Steelers last year.
He's like the opposite of all these other mediocre quarterbacks, where it's like they're okay all game and then fall apart in the last 2 minutes. Zach Wilson, he should just only be in on the last 2 minutes. Like
Yeah.
game-winning drives,
And they
some
actually they put together a drive in overtime.
yeah,
It was crazy.
and that was the only drive like the whole game.
The announcers, when it went to overtime and the Giants won the toss and took the ball, they were like, I think the Jets have the advantage here. 'Cause the Giants cannot get a first down. Like, you're better off kicking off, hoping you get a 3 and out, which would be very likely, and then them punting it back to you with better field position. Like, I don't know what the Giants are doing here. And sure enough, that's how it went down. But this game was so bad that it was fun to watch.
It was not.
Like, we were just
No.
in our apartment just laughing at well, I only turned it on, actually started watching towards the end. And it was amazing. Like that the Giants drive in overtime was one of the funniest 3 and outs I've ever seen. It was just like
It was so
snap,
bad.
throw to Barkley in the
Yep.
flat.
Yeah, it was throw to
penalty,
Barkley, throw to Barkley, throw to
Throw to
Barkley.
Barkley in the flat. It's a yard, and
That
then
was
the same play on 3rd down. I was like, are they like why not just hand it up the middle?
this drive. It's explained by Saquon Barkley's stat line: 3 catches for 0 yards. That was the drop. That was literally the overtime drive. Was his 3 catches for 0 yards? Because the first one
And
got
a
like
holding penalty.
-1, then a holding penalty, then I think he got a yard, and then one more for another 0 game. Saquon had 36
and
carries.
The punt was awful. Too.
Oh yeah, no, the punt sucked too. That didn't help at all. 36 carries by Saquon.
Yeah.
Get that dude a nice
what
bag.
a game. Yeah, wait, and another quarterback went down.
Yeah, Tyrod.
Tyrod.
Had Tommy DeVito out there.
This week. That's 4 injuries in the 4 games that we've talked about. Or in the 5 games.
Yep.
And another benching.
Another.
That's pretty miraculous.
Yeah, it was a bad week for injuries.
But yeah, DeVito, tough week, tough debut for DeVito.
Real tough.
So,
Real tough.
rough stain.
The next under
DeVito name.
Next under Chiefs Broncos, upset of the week by the Denver Broncos. Now 3-5 on the season. The Chiefs, it's starting to look a little troublesome. I know Mahomes had a tummy,
flu, right?
Yeah, he had a tummy ache or the flu. Either one. I knew he had flu game, but like if Taylor Swift isn't there and Travis Kelce isn't normal Travis Kelce, then what does this team have?
Yeah, I mean, a decent defense, I guess.
Yeah, decent enough.
Maybe Travis Kelce wasn't Travis Kelce because Patrick Mahomes wasn't Patrick Mahomes.
That's a good point. I'm down to all right. All right. You know what? I'm down to chalk this up to the flu. That's fine with me.
Just the flu.
Yeah, let's just chalk it up.
We'll see how they look next week. We'll say that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like they haven't had even a worrisome game yet.
No, not besides their one loss against the Lions, which was a 1-point game.
So I'd just flush this one. I can't believe, we'll talk about this Friday, but I can't believe Dolphins Chiefs is a 9:30 game in Germany.
Best game of the year is stuck in Germany.
They just don't deserve
at least we're not in the West Coast though, and it's at 6:30.
That's true. Might as well be on a Sunday. If it was a 6:30 on a Friday morning, I'd be happy about it.
All right, what game do you want to go to next? Like Panthers, Texans. No. Let me recap a couple of these that we don't need to talk about.
Rough on our part. taking the over in that game.
Yeah.
That was our only bad pick though. The parlay was only missed by 1.
Yeah, the wise parlay missed by 1, and there was the over on this game. We thought 2 bad defenses.
I thought we took the under too. Like when they kept like flashing the score, and I was like, all right, like I'll have to a good start. And then I like went to edit the spreadsheet, and I was like, are you kidding me? Like,
No, and it like.
And then I remember the conversation. We were like, oh, this might be a fun game.
No, it was a dreadful game.
Not.
There was so many first and goals and second and goals that resulted in 0 points in this game that I was losing my mind. It's like the 1 yard line, and these guys can't get it in the end zone. I thought 2 young defenses, 2 hopefully like trying to be up and coming offenses. Maybe we get some points here, but it just looked like 2 struggling offenses yet again. The Panthers are just miserable. They won the game though, so like
it was fun to see
CJ Stroud's
like,
first bad game
after the game.
Yeah, I did too.
At least he didn't turn the ball over at all.
Yeah, I mean Bryce had a good game. The running attack is pitiful. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's pretty dreadful. They just they need so much help. They just need they need everything.
Yeah, they do need everything. Mingo, your guy, you give up on him yet?
Yeah, I dropped him.
Yeah, you probably dropped him weeks ago. He might be creeping to be wide receiver 2 there. I don't know what it means, but
really
something. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like late in the season, and late in the season, it's when all these teams throw in their rookie wide receivers.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I should have dropped him then.
I don't think you're missing out much. And even the number 1 wide receiver on the Panthers offense.
Thielen?
I guess in this case it'd be Thielen. Yeah, I don't like that. I mean, I guess I'd take Thielen. He gets a lot of PPR points. So, but
yeah, I mean, I take him for fantasy.
All right. Saints Colts. Not sure what happened in this one.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Like the Saints will go out and score 15, and then the next week they score 38. I don't how do you explain it? It doesn't make any sense. Your boy was out there causing a ruckus.
It was the Taysom Hill show. He was out there.
He did everything. Completed a pass.
This is our flip-flop team, right?
Got a carry, scored a touchdown, caught a pass. Did he return a kick? I bet he did. Oh, he didn't.
This is so close to the flip-flop team. 2 in a row.
They are.
2 in a row. 1, 2 in a row, 1. God, yeah, I don't. What the hell do they do with this team? And when they look bad, they're trash. And
so bad.
And apparently,
that
when they look good, they can score. Yeah, that Bucs Saints game was horrific. But in a game like this, I never thought they could score 38 points.
Guys on offense.
I know.
No, it's shocking.
I know. Alvin Kamara looks great. Taysom Hill has causing a ruckus. Michael Thomas, Raheem Shaheed got involved. 3 catches for 153 yards. I mean, I don't know.
Was one of those from Taysom Hill?
Not sure. I think so. One of them, yes, it was because it was an almost interception.
500 yards of offense.
Yeah, it was almost a interception, and Raheem Shaheed grabbed it out of his hands. Yeah, dude, this team and now next week, who they play? They play
the Bears.
See, maybe not against the Bears because they have a nice schedule coming up. God damn it, the Saints are gonna win this division. I hate the Saints. It's all because of Derek Carr. They're gonna win this division.
I don't know, dude. Heineke.
You think Heineke can actually make a start or make a spark for the Falcons?
He did the last 2 years.
That's true. That's true. That's what he does.
They won it. Well, I guess he wasn't the quarterback when they won the division. He just kind of got. But yeah, like they were in the playoff conversation. And I might trust Arthur Smith more than Ron at this point.
Why we ended up talking about the Falcons again? I hate it. We're moving. We're moving on. Browns Seahawks.
The whole division should just be banned.
Yeah,
they don't have any chance to win anything. So why even
yeah, can they be regulated to other divisions? Like, can we spread them across the league? Because
throw them in the SEC. They're already in the South.
Yeah, they're trash. They're absolutely bogus.
We'll take Georgia, Bama, LSU.
Oh, they probably beat them.
Not South Carolina.
No, South Carolina does not beat any of these teams. All right, Browns Seahawks. Just a complete choke job by the Browns. For almost a complete choke job by the Seahawks. The Seahawks did look good. They did indeed look great. Their uniforms are spectacular.
I turned that game on like as soon as it came on. I immediately reaction. Yes.
Yeah. No, we had this. This is our consensus one, right?
So excited. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, these are baller. They're absolutely baller. They have to win in these. That's really the key. The Browns should have known that they were gonna have to win in these.
Yeah, but this, like we always talk about, Geno turning into a pumpkin. Like this was PJ Walker's pumpkin game.
Has there been a Cinderella game for PJ Walker?
He's been not bad.
He hasn't been great. He's had 600 yards
been good enough.
And a touchdown and 5 interceptions.
But they're winning. Like this was the one where he like cost them the game.
Yes, he did indeed cost them the game.
And I guess like maybe they were winning in spite of him. But
yeah, that's
I hadn't looked at his numbers before I said that. Yes, not.
But that's okay. The Browns, I think the Seahawks are just a better team. Not like a better team on paper, but with this quarterback situation.
If you flip these two quarterbacks, which I guess you could do for a bunch of teams, but the Browns are loads better.
I was gonna say, I think the Browns, you flip these two quarterbacks, the Browns might win by 15, 30.
Yeah. The Seahawks are like, this team being 5-2.
They're leading the NFC West.
They are, yeah.
Yeah.
San Fran has 3 losses.
Yeah, 3 in a row. I can't believe it. So November 23rd and December 10th are the 2 times they play. So 2 times in 3 weeks, which I hate how the NFL does that. That's so annoying.
Wait, is that Thanksgiving?
The 23rd? Might be. Yeah, it is. That's Thanksgiving night. Thanksgiving night.
That's a good Thanksgiving game.
Yeah.
All right.
That is a good Thanksgiving.
Good job, NFL. Who do the Lions and Cowboys play? Okay, we don't need to talk about that. Never mind.
Do they play the Commanders?
Excited. I think they might.
Oh, really? That'd be cool. All right. No, we're getting way too ahead. That's okay.
Easy way to ruin Thanksgiving. They do, yes.
So coming up, absolutely huge game against the Ravens. Already. Against the Ravens in Baltimore. This is a must win. It's a must win for the Seahawks. Honestly, for both teams. It's not like a must win, like they're gonna miss the playoffs if so, but to be a real
prove it?
Yeah, to be like a real team, like, oh, this team's gonna get some talk about on first take come Monday morning. They beat the Ravens here. Yeah. They're in a really good spot.
Oh yeah. I don't know who the Niners have, but you could be taking a 1-game lead in your division even.
Yeah, Niners don't have another cakewalk. I mean, they have the Jaguars coming up. It's not a cakewalk. I think they have a bye week, and then the Jags.
But yeah, if you win this game, you're 6-2. They're 5-3. That's a whole game.
Mm-hmm.
And you play them twice with a chance to create more separation. So it's like at the point in the season where you can start looking at that.
Oh yeah. And then this game and this week specifically, where Brock Purdy turns. Maybe talk about pumpkin. Maybe the clock struck midnight for Purdy. But he had 2 bad interceptions. He didn't look good against the Bengals. they couldn't even really get their rushing attack going as much as they would like to go. I mean, they were down the whole time, but
Yeah, since he jumped on him early.
yeah, they jumped early, and the Niners really couldn't recover. They had the weapons to get back in the game, but not enough to push it over the top, especially towards the end once Joe Burrow started going off. But great week for the Seahawks.
Oh, are we?
No, I was just wrapping up.
Which game are we on?
No, that was
Okay.
just saying great week. In all, well, that was I was saying the Niners losing the Bengals also makes it an even better week.
Right. Yeah. Now I'm confused.
We're talking about the Bengals.
This Bengals team. We panicked.
Yeah, we panicked.
We panicked again. This is like the third year in a row that this has happened.
And I mentioned that
They're
we
fine.
might be panicking, and
we
still didn't like it because, yeah, no, they're fine.
It didn't look good. I think it took them a little bit longer than usual.
It's the Titans
Last year
game
they
that
started
messed
0-2
us
and
up.
then immediately.
It was the Titans game that messed us up.
Yeah.
And then close
That was a
again
wise
against
pick.
the Seahawks. Yeah, that was a wise pick.
Well, yeah, because I guess what it is like even their wins, like the Rams game, they didn't look very good.
Mm-hmm.
They beat the Cardinals, and then the Seahawks game, they didn't look great either.
Yeah, so there was no measuring stick.
But this was the first. It's almost like they needed to play a team who
was good,
people respected.
Yeah.
I mean,
and not lose to
they played good teams.
Yeah, but they lost to them.
Yeah. Right.
Well, they have another test.
Talk about a statement win.
They have another test coming up Sunday night. Great Sunday night.
I don't like this. I don't like how they gave us this game at night again in the same stadium. It just gives me the willies.
Yeah,
at least it's not Monday night, but I still don't like it. Freaks me out.
That is creepy. I didn't even think about that.
Make it a day game or 4:25.
Yeah, that's got to be a 4:25 game. The Fox game of the week type deal.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got? We have Ravens Cardinals.
Our teams.
I was saving our teams.
Okay.
Ravens Cardinals.
We kind of nailed this one too. Like we took that alternate spread. Said like after that combination by the Ravens, they're not gonna look that good again.
Yeah, and I actually I forgot about the alternate spread, and I actually thought the Ravens had it covered this whole game to the end for the last quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess good job for fighting if you're the Cardinals, but they're finally moving on. They're starting to play like all their young guys are in. Who knows if Kyler Murray's even going to be the quarterback next week? Could be someone else.
Oh,
I don't know.
You see? I remember writing this down last week. Did you see that video of him like walking on the practice field for the first time, and like the lady holding the camera?
Yeah, and she's like, "I missed you, Kyler."
Welcome back.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah,
we missed you, or something like that. Like, ugh.
Yeah, it is. It was a little creepy.
It'd be incredibly uncomfortable.
Yeah, let's talk about the ick.
I'm assuming he's gonna come back.
Yeah,
I guess you never know though. He could like milk it the rest of the season. They want a higher pick.
Well, you think it's on him or is it on the team? I think it would be on the team, not him.
I don't know. It could be either because the team might want the higher pick. They don't want him to play, but he could also be like, "Why would I go out there if we have no shot at the playoffs?"
Yeah, that's a good point.
Just sign a contract.
I know. They're gonna have
be interesting to keep an eye on.
They're gonna have a pickle deciding what to do with him because they signed him that big ass deal.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, with how bad quarterback play has been, there'll be a spot for him.
Let me do the Pats real quick. It's nothing new. They didn't look good. Mac looked terrible.
They almost made this or they made it a one-score game at one point, right?
Yeah, they lingered. They definitely lingered. Kendrick Bourne, our best offensive weapon, is out for the season. Seems like Pop Douglas is now our best offensive weapon, which is a rookie, which is cool. I'm down for it. Whatever, give him the ball. And the trade deadline passed, and we didn't trade anyone. So seems like we're just riding the ship. When you look at the Pats schedule, I've done this. I feel like every episode, but like there's sadly a bunch of wins on there still. So I don't know what the Pats do.
this week.
Yeah, this week. So
Wise
battle
ball.
of the wise guys this week. We'll do a whole big thing on that Friday. I wanted to save the Commanders last, not only for the game.
Like what? What are we gonna talk about?
That was heartbreaking. But yeah,
it's a whole big thing.
all right. We don't need a whole big thing then. Commanders all over the news today in the NFL trade deadline. They were basically the most active dealer out there, and
they're in the lab.
Close loss to the Eagles. So what are your thoughts? Where do you want to start? I mean, we can skip the game.
I guess we'll start with the game because it's less recent, and then we'll move into today. But play the Eagles tough again, man.
I love playing the Eagles tough.
Why they do, and it's just getting your hopes up. And like 10 minutes before the game, I wasn't excited at all, and then I just convinced myself that they might win this game. Come out, they jump on them. They're up 14-3. They stop the tush push, get another fumble inside the 5, and then really it came crashing down when Howell threw his only pick. It was like they were from their own 25, just threw it right to Blankenship, I think it was. And then Julio gets his touchdown. And then the least likely culprit to cost them a game, and not necessarily cost them a game, like they wouldn't have guaranteed win, but McLaurin dropped 2 balls on 3rd and 4th down.
I saw that
towards the end of the 4th quarter.
Drop. They were short throws. They were short.
Yeah, it wasn't like right in his arms. Like especially the first one, he was like running a corner route, and Howell threw it behind. Like he had all the space in the world. He was wide open, and Howell threw it well behind him. Had to kind of like turn around and lower the ground. But they were balls that at least one of them he should have been able to catch. The next one on 4th down, like he was wide open again. I don't know what happened there. But that sucked. But then they get a 3 and out, and they get the ball back, and that's when the ref ball came into play. I don't know if you saw that play. The 3rd down to Dotson, ball that I'm 95% sure caught, but they ruled it an incompletion, and there wasn't enough. I get why they didn't over it, because like there wasn't enough to definitively say that he did catch it, but like caught it.
Yeah.
So they kind of got shafted there, and then he got strip sacked on 4th down. So not that like that cost us the game either, but it was just an unfortunate series of things to happen at the end of a game when you actually played one of your best games of the year. I mean, the defense sucked, but they got a couple big stops when they needed them. And Howell, like, that was his best. If you take away that one interception, that was the best that he's looked by far. But the one interception was pretty bad.
So
that's the game.
Now the trade deadline. Move off of Chase Young for 3rd, and Montez Sweat for a 2nd. What? Like, I guess the direction is now just tank.
I don't know if it's as much of a tank as it is like a retool, because it's almost like you're sacrificing your position of strength to try to upgrade elsewhere. That's how I look at it, I think. You now have 5 picks in the first 3 rounds, which apparently they haven't had like ever.
Wow.
This format of the draft.
Sounds about right.
You already have two big contracts on the D line. They couldn't pay either of them, and if they did, they'd be like have like 35% of your salary cap on the D line. So they had to at least get rid of one of them, possibly even both. They weren't going to bring back, so you might as well trade them now. If like I don't think ownership thinks that they're going to win the Super Bowl this year, which smart.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah.
The only thing that really bothers me is that I know that Chase Young is going to be good somewhere else.
And on the
Like,
Niners.
I just know it. Yeah.
He's definitely going to be.
And like the Niners, I don't even know if they'll be able to resign all the money that they spend. But like he will be a stud. And that sucks. Because and I have like no ill will towards him. Like it was his whole tenure here outside of his rookie year was frustrating, but kind of like root against him.
Yeah,
But
you would never.
that is gonna suck. Sweat is like
Sweat just is good.
He same way. Like
Yeah.
he's a solid player. Probably is not worth what he's gonna get paid in the market. So I guess you dodge a bullet there. But yeah, now you have very little on the edges. So
But they'll just
I don't know.
draft. They'll
It's
just
like
draft like they're gonna. They have like a farm of draft picks on the D end, so or the D line. You know, like they just keep drafting these guys, so they're probably just gonna keep doing the same thing. And when you look at it, you get the Bears pick, which could be the 35th overall pick. Could be the
it's like basically a first rounder. But the 49ers pick is basically a fourth round.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
a
issue. So
compensation pick.
Yeah, that's.
But yeah, at the end of the day, like you weren't going to re-sign him, you might as well get something for him. Better than a compensation pick, but they did.
I agree.
But like the Chase thing, you can't look at it as they traded a number 2 overall pick for a late third rounder. Like that was a sunk cost.
Yeah.
What he is now is not worth the second pick in the draft.
No, and it's almost no, not at all. And like look at Trey Lance was a fourth rounder, and he's a quarterback that was the third overall.
Exactly.
So the fact that you even got a third overall for the second overall pick, it's even though it's a D, like it's a DN, it's not a position of luxury. It's not, and you still got a third round. Like it's not that bad. It's not the end of the world.
Mm-hmm.
When looking at the Bears,
I saw people on like the Instagram comments were freaking out.
Oh, I saw this.
I don't know what there is to freak out about. This is perfectly fine.
There's a guy. His name is Howell2 McLaurin on Twitter. He says, "I don't really give a shit how many picks they have until Josh Harris fires Rivera, Mayhew, and Huey and replaces them all with a real GM." He said the 2023 class is the worst I've seen in my life. I don't even think about letting them run another one. He's already given up on your draft class from this year, and he already wants.
They don't play.
No, none of them.
They literally don't play.
None of them play.
None of them, except for Chris Rodriguez, gets like 2 carries. It's shocking.
But she's just where the hell is Tavius Martin at?
Like that. He doesn't play. It literally does not make any sense. And I even said, like, I remember having a little meltdown on the draft podcast because I could not figure out why we drafted a safety in the second round. And sure enough, that safety does not get reps. Like, who is he going to play over? It's.
So do you agree with? Do you think new GM? I mean, I think
it's new everything.
Yeah, and you think it will be? Like, is this?
It's not even like they've done a horrible job. It's just like, new owner. These guys are.
They're not as guys.
Exciting about them. I think Mayhew was the GM when the Lions were 0-16. So. And Marty Herney was the Panthers GM who haven't gone anywhere. So it's not like these guys are world-renowned football minds or anything. Or replacement level management.
Yeah, and I'm surprised.
Marty Party is what they're called on sports radio.
Marty Party. I'm surprised Rivera survived today. I thought today would be Black Monday for Ron Rivera. Honestly.
But coming off a game where they look good and they're only 3-5, it's not like they're 1-7. He'll last the season, which is fine. I feel like you don't gain anything by firing him now.
No, I was just about to say, I feel like he's gonna be there the whole season. Like he'll be a Black Monday at the end. And
you might like he's a good dude. You might as well like give him the respect of finishing
Look,
the
he beat
season.
cancer with the organization. You might as well not fire
Yeah,
him.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I'd fired Rio. I'd be fine if he was canned.
Rio needs to be. He should have been
But I
canned
think
last year, bruh. Why we
3 years
We
ago,
yeah, we knew Rio was garbage.
the Forbes
He's the
thing is like
he's the reason why
they
they're
let him
trading.
play this week.
Oh, I know.
I could not believe
I
that they
saw.
let him
I'm
on the field against the receiver that he got benched for. The reason he got benched in the first place was because he got
AJ Brown.
torched by AJ Brown, who then did the same thing to the D-backs of the next 4 teams that they played. So it's like it wasn't even an indictment on Forbes, but
But
he looked so
boy,
bad the next week too that they had to bench him. But like, why put him back in against this guy?
it was literally to make him look bad. Like there is no way because oh man, that
They're
it was
so
bad.
lucky that Christian Gonzalez is hurt right now because it's hard to make the
Oh,
comparison when
yeah.
one guy's on IR.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
No,
they're lucky.
and like I kind of feel like that adds an aspect where nobody's talking about Forbes either because like there's no good rookie corner. There's no like standout rookie corner. You're lucky there's no like Joey
What
Porter
about
Jr.
Witherspoon?
That's true, but
I
he
guess
had
he
that
was
one
too
game.
high.
And he had that like one game, you know, or it's you're lucky it's not like Joey Porter Jr. that's like going off.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
Oh well. I mean, there's still hope for him. Let's not.
Yeah, honestly, like I honestly feel bad for him. I just don't understand why this was the spot that you put him back in.
No, and it doesn't
Make
help
any sense.
that he's so freaking skinny that like
He
every
looks
play
so bad.
he
On
looks
that
so.
one, like it was literally just like a hitch route, and he was like, Brown lost it by like 10 yards. Maybe it was Devontae Smith on that one, but yeah, it was a nightmare.
It's real bad. So
I mean, the Bears. Nothing would be worse than the Bears game. That was maybe the worst I've ever seen a football player play.
what the Bears?
DJ Moore just like ran
Oh
up
yeah, just
the yards on him.
Killed him.
So bad.
So speaking of the Bears, I saw this the most funny scenario. I guess the most hilarious scenario be Montez Sweat this offseason, free agent, resigns with the Washington Commanders. For whatever they're extending it for.
That would be so funny.
And just they get the second round pick and call
That
it
would
a day.
be really funny.
Well, I did see all over Twitter, why are they have the most cap space in the NFL. Why are they trading for a player that's hitting the open market? Why are they spending a high draft pick on a player
Bears?
that's why are they spending a high draft pick on a player that's hitting the open market?
I don't know. I guess
Just like to
the
lock
only
him in.
benefit that you get is the first ones on it. You're the only ones that can negotiate with it. But like, why would he re-sign long term in Chicago? I guess because they have a lot of cap space and they can give him a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't know. What else do you say?
Here's money because like
Their dumpster fire too.
yeah, he's not getting to a better position. All right, to wrap up some trades, we need to stop and go through them. Josh Dobbs to Vikings, we saw Donovan Peoples-Jones to the Lions. I did not realize happened. Donovan Peoples-Jones has been a wide receiver that I like every time that the Browns throw to him.
A sleepy giant almost.
Yeah, and they just like don't use him enough as I think.
Well, I saw what I was reading today was like I was talking about Peoples-Jones and then it said strengths. He's one of the most explosive players in the NFL. And then it was like weaknesses. All skills, route running, and blocking. Like, oh, those things matter a little bit.
Yeah, that might be why he's not getting the opportunities we think so. But he's only 24. Young Lions team. Yeah. If anyone can make him block, I was gonna say if anyone can make him block. All right. Jaguars trade for O-line Ezra Cleveland. Let's pretend that we know that.
Why did the Vikings trade him?
Oh, I don't know. I was gonna say let's pretend like we know if he's a good offensive lineman or not, but
I heard he was good.
I've heard the name, so it means he's good. Like that's kind of how it works with offensive linemen. Like,
Yeah.
I've heard the name, unless you hear the name specifically.
That's really bad.
Yeah, unless you're really bad.
Like Eric Flapp.
Yes. That helps out their own line. I don't know why the Vikings trade for him. Maybe they just think lost cause now. You know, why bother?
But then they just went and got a quarterback.
I don't know. Good question.
Maybe is like, what's his contract deal? I don't know. Why don't we care that much?
Rasul Douglas, good corner for the
Thanks.
Bills.
Sorry.
Traded third round pick to the Buffalo Bills. Good corner depth. They've desperately needed it, especially with Tre'Davious White being out for the season. And Rasul Douglas is a good corner, so that's solid. And then Seahawks trade a second
This was
round pick.
waving the white flag for the Packers.
Yeah. This was waving the white flag. Seahawks trade for Leonard Williams, another white flag. New York Giants gave up.
Yep.
Got a second round pick.
I thought Leonard Williams just got an extension.
I think he did last season.
Fairly recently.
So
that's good value.
Yeah, I love this trade for the Seahawks.
Right?
We talk about all the time how they need defense and run defense and defensive tackles.
Especially because they didn't go up front in the drafts this year.
Yeah.
Because they went corner. He signed a 4-year. Wait. Oh no.
What? Was that
His deal? Wait.
Was it the other one, like Dexter Lawrence? That signed the deal.
Maybe. This is confusing. I'm just gonna stop. I think he's a free agent next year.
All right. I think that's all we got. I mean, we didn't talk about the 2 night games, but I don't think we need to go back and do that.
The Bears game was atrocious.
I didn't watch a second.
Turned it off to watch Wemby for a bit.
Well, you already mentioned it. It's too late. NBA, James Harden has been traded from the 76ers. James Harden, the media needs to owe him, like, they need to write him a thank you letter for a good 2.5 years of constant trade rumors. It didn't get more constant trade rumors than this. Like, it never ended.
No, it didn't.
Even in
Philly for a week, and he wanted to go to.
He wanted to go back to Houston, and now he want to go back to Houston. It's like, oh, remember Christmas Day? It's like, oh, we all wake up on Christmas Day for some NBA, and it's James Harden wanting to go back to Houston. So the Clippers are sending an unprotected first in 2028, 2 second-round picks, and a pick swap. For this deal, they also are sending Marcus Morris, Nick Batum, Robert Covington.
This was a great freaking cast of characters.
Oh yeah,
shipped over.
Yeah, it was, and like I felt like they were all important in like the
2016 like good bench guys, and now it's I don't know. Like, what are you getting out of Nick Batum?
Yeah, they get Marcus Morris, Nick Batum, Robert Covington, and KJ Martin, which KJ Martin is the youngest of these guys. Guys actually might actually have some future value. But they also ship over PJ Tucker. So as you said, Marcus Morris, Nick Batum, Robert Covington, PJ Tucker. Those are just 4 dudes from about 5 years ago that you would want on your bench. All in the same deal. They get 2 first-round picks practically. The not Steelers. I don't know why I was thinking Steelers. The Clippers they've already spent most of their future on the rest of their guys, but now are giving away the last hopes of their future. James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, Russell Westbrook, and Paul George. Good luck.
True. Again, if it was 2016,
be an all-star team.
It'd be on fire. Unstoppable.
Be absolutely.
I still think it'll work for a little bit. And when it does work, people are going to be like, oh, I can't believe the league let them go hard.
Yep. No, it's going to be fine until the playoffs, probably. It'll probably be signed until the playoffs, if Kawhi even plays as much.
When this thing goes down.
That's the only... all I know is that it's not going to end well. That's all I know.
Yes, right.
This will not end well.
And maybe
Um,
they do like maybe it works for a season. Like maybe they do get lucky. This team just becomes dominant. But like all of these guys are past their prime.
no, and like we've seen most of them. Like I mean, besides Kawhi and Paul George, we barely get to see them play together. But we know Russell Westbrook and James Harden don't work together. We not seen this before?
Yeah, they're also perennial chokers.
Yeah. Oh, in and
Like every year.
talk about the one ball theory, like the one ball syndrome or whatever. What the hell are they gonna do in the clutch? Everyone's gonna think that they deserve the ball.
Yeah.
It's just not. I don't. The eventually the what if it works for us doesn't work. And I know I brought this up literally last week or last Friday with the Lakers and thinking, maybe they could be the type of team to think like that. I didn't think it was secretly the Clippers all along. I'm just baffled they gave up those. Those firsts are the most egregious part about it. They got 2 first-round picks for James Harden. One in 2028. 2028, Chris.
Be a complete disaster at that point.
5 years from now. James Harden's not going to be in the league. I'll tell you that. Who knows? I don't know.
And Westbrook won't be either.
No, Kawhi and Paul George might not be either. Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. Oh, that's brutal. This is like just another, in 2K when it's like you pick one of those teams and it's like, oh, they have a 2028 pick and it turns up being the first overall pick. You play the Sixers.
Right. It's like, oh, wait, I got the first overall pick this year?
Yeah.
That's going to be the Sixers in 2028.
Yep.
And the Wizards with the Suns pick will be right behind them.
Yeah, second. Anything else you want to discuss with this? Honestly,
I'm curious, like how it's.
I'm excited to see how it works.
Like, Lakers don't really have a second guy now.
It's Maxey. It's the whole Maxey show.
I guess, yeah. I guess I don't hate.
No,
like, it's not like you win. Like you lost the series last year with Harden out there, and he was trash.
Yeah, now you just got more role players.
You can't really. Yeah.
No, it's a good trade for the
It really get worse.
Definitely a good trade for the Sixers.
I don't know how well they'll do in the regular season compared to last year, but I guess we'll see. I wouldn't hate it. I'd be perfectly okay with it if I was a Sixer fan.
Yeah, you just need to get him out of the building. That's it. Like Westbrook last year.
He's so toxic, man.
He's the worst, bro. He is the worst. And
he's the worst.
How long until he starts bitching about LA? Like, are we gonna get a full season of him being happy for once? I don't know. And it's just like, what an FU, I feel like, to the like.
I guess he's gonna
the strip clubs are gonna love him there, but like, I guess you are pairing up with other like Hall of Famers, so I guess it doesn't matter too much. But kind of like, what an FU to the rest of the team. It's like, we're just trade all of our shit for James Harden, a guy that's known quitter on multiple teams.
Yeah, I know.
Whatever.
But I guess like guys whose opinions matter must have signed off on it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. But they must have signed. The Nets must have done the same thing, and same with the Sixers. So, yeah, they're doing.
I know. It's God, he was even on the Nets.
I know. It's since 2021. He's been on 4 teams. Insanity. And I think Westbrook's right behind him with like 5 teams since 2020. It's nuts. I don't know. I don't understand, especially how you can look at those two guys and see them do it before and not be able to do it. You've seen them choke in the playoffs multiple times. And then you have 2 guys who don't play together because they're never healthy. And you put them all in this one toxic like soup. It's the most interesting team in the league
in
now.
The second biggest basketball city in the world.
Yeah. But luckily
it's
nobody
funny
cares.
How we're not like. Yeah, right.
Like,
it was the Lakers.
Oh yeah, if this was the Lakers team, it would be.
The Lakers have actually turned into like one of the most likable teams in the league, which is funny.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, right.
Like old LeBron, Reeves, we Vanderbilt not to like about this.
Yeah, the only thing that's
I
not to
guess,
like
yeah,
is
the
like
pick AD.
Christian Wood and Russell are like the two guys that I don't have fun watching whatsoever.
At
That's
D-Lab,
about it.
isn't it?
He'll be off. They'll both be on shipped off
Um,
somewhere by February.
But I am curious if the Sixers have another move planned. I don't know if they do.
I saw things about Zach LaVine. I saw things about someone else. I think it was mainly Zach LaVine though, and I don't think they need to do anything drastic like that. I think you ride out with Maxey.
No, I
You
don't either.
see if Maxey can become a star, and then come trade deadline, if there's any other depth pieces you need to move for a little bit some off the bench, that's what you go for.
It is funny how though that like they're trying to find the replacement for a guy that they had and chose not to keep.
Yep.
Like they're trying to find Jimmy Butler,
and they have been since they left him.
since he left.
Yeah.
Since like the Raptors series, right? That was who's on that team
since the ball dropped in that bucket and they didn't make the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yep. Right.
Oh well, 76ers. You're waking up happier tomorrow to the 76ers.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm excited to see how these Clippers play. Like they're low key on must watch TV if they're all playing.
Oh yeah, or like if they're coming to town.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I wonder how much tickets are to see them play the Wizards.
Probably
Just to
not.
see those guys.
Yeah, you're watching 4 future Hall of Famers.
Paul George. Is he all?
It's basketball. They're all Hall of Fames. Surprised Batum's not going to be a Hall of Famer.
It is funny how like these guys just get memed and ridiculed, and then it's like they're Hall of Fame. Like freaking Dwight Howard.
Oh yeah, Dwight Howard's a Hall of Famer.
Like,
and
easily Melo.
Yep. And
Melo's
for like
a lock.
And for like 7 years of their careers, for like so many of these guys, we've just clowned on him over and harped on him.
Westbrook's another one.
Yeah, he'll be a Hall of
like,
Famer.
Even when he was good.
Yep.
It was like, nah, stat pattern.
Yep. Yeah. No, Embiid's next in line. He's gonna be a Hall of Famer. We called him soft ever since he joined the league.
He is soft.
Yeah, I know.
Two things could be true.
Yeah, both things can be
true.
He
is soft. He also puts up Hall of Fame numbers.
Yeah, he's also a Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, $15 to see Wizards Clippers. Nice.
I think you just found yourself.
What are the odds that they all play on a Wednesday in January, though?
In Washington, 0. That's 0.
A long way to travel.
Honestly. Oh. All right. You got anything else for the pod?
Yeah, I think that's all I got.
Yeah, I think we hit everything. We're gonna get into some more deep dive into basketball stuff once we get a little more patterns of these teams. I don't want to start judging these teams off 4-3 games.
There was a Wise Bowl last night.
There was. It was not close.
Didn't go well.
No. The Celtics stomped. It's funny. The score. Yes, I was gonna say the score.
Scored by a lot in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that first quarter was 42-19.
I got an alert that was like Jordan Poole tries to get fancy, but Kristaps swamped him away.
Did you see that play?
No, and then I didn't watch.
You didn't watch. All right, I would get benched on our rec team for doing this play. He drives up to the middle of the court. He goes in like the free throw, the box. Yeah, he's at like the corner of the box of the paint, and then he turns around completely. He's not facing the basket. He is 180 from the basket. Dribbles forward, turns around, does a fadeaway, and gets completely stuffed by Kristaps Porzingis. This is some shit I've never seen on a basketball court in the NBA. This is like the old man in the gym who thinks like he still has it.
I couldn't believe I got to learn about it.
I know,
I
and
like, and when I saw Jordan Poole's name, I was like, "Oh, like what did he do?" And then I
he
read
gets
it, and I was like, "That
stuffed.
was just mean."
It was. That's
Like,
bullying.
why send that to me? I literally like I have like the Wizards, my favorite team. That notification's turned on from ESPN. It's like, why are you sending me that? See that?
Yeah,
See if
I
it's
didn't end
real.
up.
I
I
might have
was
clicked on
studying for a test, so I couldn't watch the game. But Gallinari, I remember he said at the beginning of the season he circled these Celtics games, but
it. Oh, wait, here it is.
walloped up with 3 points.
Jordan Poole tries to get fancy and is blocked by Kristaps Porzingis, who then finishes with a basket on the other end. And then the notification is Poole calls SWAT team.
Oh,
It's just not
oh,
nice.
it's bullying. That's bullying.
It is bullying.
The
They're
what?
not like they're not good.
No, the Washington Wizards general manager is the real bully.
Yeah, they're a meme team,
Yeah, they're bad.
which I'm all for.
It's better than being a struggling eighth
That's okay
seed.
with. I'd rather like yeah, and I'd rather have like these funny guys like Poole and Kuzma watching this play. Oh my gosh, that was pretty bad. It's great. Yeah, Denny put up another 11-7.
Classic Denny.
Man, classic.
There's not much to say about these Wizards this early.
No, I do have Poole on my fantasy team, so I hope he figures it out.
I need to start checking because we're playing each other, and I had Draymond on the IR yesterday. He's playing, so I need
Oof.
to.
Wait, we're playing. I think I already beat you.
I thought the games last like 3 days. Do they not?
It's a whole week.
Yeah, it's only been a week.
I think we played last week.
Oh, what?
Right, but it's been a week. Now it's the next week.
Oh, that's garbage. Oh well, that's fine. I'm not worried. It's a long season. All right.
It is a long season.
Well, I think that does it. Thank you all for listening. I hope everyone has a splendid rest of their week. See everyone on Friday for a preview of the Wise Bowl. Get ready. Huge preview incoming for Washington Patriots. So prepare.